I want to play this video. Kamala Harris questioned J.D. Vance's loyal to his country. This isn't taken out of context. That's it. Question his loyalty to his country. This is J.D. Vance's. Actually, let me just do this. Can we play the video of Kamala Harris attacking J.D. Vance?
Trump looked for someone he knew would be a rubber stamp for his extreme agenda, and make no mistake, J.D. Vance will be loyal only to Trump, not to our country.
I want to see, now let's play the video of his response. I want to play J.D. responding to Kamala.
I saw the other day Kamala Harris question my loyalty to this country. That's the word she used, loyalty. And it's an interesting word, simplify, loyalty, because there is no greater sign of disloyalty to this country than what Kamala Harris has done at our southern border. And I'd like to ask the Vice President, what has she done to question my loyalty to this country? I served in the United States Marine Corps. I went to Iraq for this country.
So, look, I think the funny part about this is, you go back, Jen Psaki has a history of attacking. She was the White House mouthpiece, the first one under Biden. She attacked people who served at Space Force. She minimized their service. Here's Kamala Harris questioning JD's loyalty. It's a shame that he even has to say, I served in the Marine Corps and I went to Iraq. I mean, he didn't just, this guy enlisted, got sent to Iraq. I get a kick out of it. And again, maybe it's just my obsession today. But Hilton, where's you question, this woman has never served her country in uniform. And she questions JD's loyalty. He went to fight in another country for the freedom here so that we didn't bring terrorism here. And yet she has the gall to do this without consequence. No pushback. If JD didn't hit back, Hilton, nothing. No, there's no media response.
It would be 100% dead. And that's why, that is the issue we're going to deal with all up until November, is that Kamala is going to be able to say whatever the hell she wants. And there is going to be no pushback on it because the media won't hold her accountable, because the media's hate of Trump outweighs Kamala's lies right now. That is just the bottom line. They are going to let her get away with basically murder, say what she wants, because they want to paint J.D. Vance and Trump out to be the dictators and the threat to democracies that everyone on the left is claiming that they are.
Chris, how does this, I don't get it. How do you stand up there and say, question someone's loyalty who has served the country in uniform in the Marine Corps, gone to Iraq, and then face no backlash, and yet have the gall to go out there and be like, he called someone a cat lady?
Yeah. I think, one of the things that I posted on X a couple of weeks ago, right after that Republican convention was, and it was something that got a lot of shares, actually, got a lot of traffic, and I was surprised at it. I made an observation that RNC convention to me was on display accomplished, smart, intelligent, independent, beautiful, feminine women and strong alpha men. And that's what I took from it. And I saw it and I said that on X, and it was posted and reposted again. And you know what I'm coming to the conclusion of? That's what this country is hungry for. They're hungry for tradition and families, beautiful, smart, independent, feminine women and strong masculine men. And the left has been hijacking and attacking that for years and years and years, and we're sick to death of it. That's my hunch. I hope I'm right. I have no way of knowing that, but that's my hunch.
Hilton, what do you think?
No, I agree with that. It's just, the left has taken us down such a horrible road where everything is an offense. And I think people are sick and tired of it. And it's starting to break through. I still love Matt Gaetz's quote when, the reporter was like, a lot of people are hurt by what you said about women. And he was like, well, be offended. I feel like we need to go back to that mindset. We're not going to appease everyone. And I think people are sick and tired of the way we've gone down this road. And if Kamala becomes president, it's only going to get 10 times worse. So I just really hope people see through the whole BS from the far left media and actually look at her track record and what she stands for.
And furthermore, somebody as tough as Hilton doesn't need this, but I would just say, if Kamala wants to play the first female card and in history and women and all of that, like, do you want to be treated as equal? And do you want to have a debate like an adult, or do you want to be sheltered and say, oh, I'm a girl, don't hit too hard? Like, what's it going to be? Because we can't play by two sets of rules.
I agree with you there. But like the whole childless cat comment thing, I would have listened to that. I would be like, okay, cool. I mean, I don't have kids. Like, I'm 31. I'm almost 32. I'm not married. Like, that would have gone right over my head. I would not have taken offense to it. But the left, they just find everything to get offended by. And like they blow everything out of proportion. What I see, JD Vance is a man that can connect with so many demographics. I see that he was born in dirt poor, living situation, survived drug addiction, domestic abuse, went on to military, law school, started his own business, and now he's a senator. That's the kind of guy I want leading my country. I don't want a woman who plays the I'm black and I'm a woman, therefore give me a job card. And I don't want her as president. That doesn't inspire me for anything. So everything's been taken out of proportion.
By the way, in the Meghan interview, JD goes on to talk about, remember, he didn't grow up with a father. He had strong women around him.
That's right.
That raised him. Then he marries this kick-ass,
Yep.
tough as nails prosecutor, Usha, and who is a woman of color. I mean, like the narrative, like they say stuff. They call him a racist that only wants to promote white women. And I'm like, dude, he's married to a woman of color who's pretty darn.
I would submit to you the Trump Vance ticket is surrounded by more incredibly accomplished, brilliant women than we've ever seen in a presidential ticket. I am more impressed by people that surround Trump and Vance.
Chris, this was the White House. I was laughing all the time about these women that were in senior positions, making discussions, standing up to President Trump. You had. You think about all the members of the Jewish faith that were, from Gary Cohen to Ivanka to Jared, Stephen Miller. I mean, I just keep going, right? Of all of these, Eli Miller, I mean, like all of these, Stephen Mnuchin, and yet they would talk about how he's anti-Jewish. And I'm like, dude, have you seen the people he surrounds himself with? Strong women, Jews. It's like, and yet they don't care about the attack. Like they would say that he is surrounds himself with bad golfers if they thought, I mean, like they say whatever it is, they just know they won't be held accountable. And that's where like my constant pet peeve keeps coming back, which is if you can say things with impunity and just say them and know that no one's going to hold you accountable. It's like walking out and being like, I'm tired of the rain coming every day in the middle of record sunny days. Like they can say it because no one holds them accountable. And again, this is actually, I want to show you talk about not holding anyone accountable. And this is huge in Pennsylvania, in your world, Chris. Pennsylvania, 19 electoral votes. There's no question. If you look at the last couple elections, this is, we did the road to 270. This is going to be, I think, as goes Pennsylvania, it's almost, there goes the election. This is Kamala Harris on fracking. Take a look, and then we'll talk about this.
I am committed to passing a Green New Deal, creating clean jobs, and finally putting an end to fracking once and for all.
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. So, yeah, and starting with what we can do on day one around public lands, right? And then there has to be legislation. But yes, and this is something I've taken on in California. I have a history of working on this issue.
She's committed to this, and yet now she's anti-fracking. God, I wonder if, Chris, do you think, how does fracking play in Pennsylvania? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's huge, obviously, particularly in Western Pennsylvania, in rural Pennsylvania. I mean, it's creating jobs, meaningful salaried jobs in places that have had no meaningful salaried income and jobs in a very, very long time, first of all. That's exactly right. But also keep in mind, there's a governor that people are talking about, maybe she's looking at. And one of the things I love most about this, I am cheering on the Josh Shapiro pick. You know why? Because the American left is now calling him Genocide Josh. I think that'll be fascinating to watch.
All right, you went there.
Yes, I can't wait.
I think that Josh Shapiro is a great, I honestly, I disagree. You're the Pennsylvanian. So I'll defer to you on this. I actually don't like. I mean, if I were her, I'd pick Josh Shapiro and make a play for Pennsylvania's 19 votes. You're telling me you want him?
Oh, I do. I'll tell you why. He may well bring Pennsylvania home, but you know what he might also do? He might also shave off enough of their Jew-hating left that it gives Trump.
I'm telling you, I talked to a buddy of mine very high up on the Democratic side, and his answer to me is, where are those people going to go?
Just sit it out?
No, they're not. They're not going to. You think this side, I'm telling you, they've come at Trump with everything. They've tried to kick him off the ballot. They've come at him with lawsuits. They passed the Russia hoax, the Steele dossier, and you think they're going to go, oh, we're upset about him because he picked Josh Shapiro? Are you kidding? I'm sorry.
Those Jew haters are pretty wily. I don't know if you've seen them on college campuses. Who knows what they'll do? You saw what they did to Washington, D.C. just last week. So I don't know, but I'm happy to hear them talk about it. If nothing else, it gives us a solid 6 months of anti-Semitism to discuss, which I'm thrilled on their side to expose.
I don't want Josh Shapiro. Hilton, am I wrong on this? Come over to the water. Water's warm over here. Stigall's got a whole freezing bathtub over there.
Okay, I get where he's coming from, because what about Dearborn, Michigan? What's going to happen with that? I can see how, majority of Americans support Israel and Jews, but Kamala's base hates them. So how is she going to answer for, yes, I picked a Jew who is very vocal and supportive of the Israel nation as my running mate? But the only thing too with Kamala as well is that she's married to a Jew. So I don't know if, people might give her some slack since it's already in her.
It's just, I'm sorry. I think the one thing that vice presidents don't drive a lot. But Chris Stigall, tell me if I'm wrong. This is prior to this whole meltdown the last 2 weeks. A month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, if I had asked a lot of Republicans that I know in Pennsylvania, a good number of them actually like the guy. In fact, there are a bunch of Trump administration folks. I disagree. Like, they went out and endorsed him last time, which
sure. Yeah.
What do you mean? Oh, sure.
Who would be the best option?
He pretends to be a moderate like nobody's business. He's Mr. Get Excrement Done. I get it. Yes, true. All true. However, the one thing that he isn't is Kamala Harris. She's still at the top of the ticket. And
right.
Selena and I were just talking about this. And Selena believes that this person, Kamala Harris, plays just as well as Hillary Clinton did. She is phony. And I'll tell you somebody else she has problems with. Nobody's talking about black men. Philadelphia and Allegheny County black men are not going to get excited about this person, or Josh Shapiro for that matter. If Trump can cut into those margins, I think this whole Shapiro thing falls apart in my view.
Would Mark Kelly be the better option, Arizona? I don't.
Here's the thing. If we lose Arizona, we can still win. I think if we lose Pennsylvania, which I am concerned. I mean, this is the thing. Chris Stigall knows Pennsylvania really, really well. And at least I don't like putting words in people's mouths, but I'm not hearing you say that. Like, that to me sounds like a much harder road to hoe if Josh Shapiro's on that ticket. I don't like it. So therefore, I just don't want him. And then we'll go down the list of who else I don't want. But I don't want to make this any easier. I mean, the media pass has been insane. Just a real quick, I wanted to tell you guys, I have this pulled up. I've been going off about the media. This is what Ben Shapiro said. The media's overwhelming sycophancy for Harris is going to drive some serious backlash. Voters will be reminded just who she is and that she is not a moderate, tough-on-crime prosecutor or a kindly, cool auntie. She is a historically incompetent, radical leftist who lies consistently. That only happens if we're laser focused message wise. And I don't know that we are right now. And that worries 4 years of her. Oh my God. You thought
the American public is so gaslit or able to be gaslit that we forget that this withering old man 2 weeks ago said, I'm in it and I'm not going anywhere.
They did.
We didn't. They can just lead us to believe that this failure of a vice president is now the top of the heap, like when she was the first out. Nobody wanted her the first time. Her own constituents didn't want her the first time.
Well, if you enjoyed this content, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get more.